What is going on, guys? Tonight we got a Ragnarok F4. This beautiful, beautiful little pepper looks menacing. Hellfire Farms has been talking about this one for a while now. And I have been hyped to try it. I don't know how well you can see it. Let's see if it'll show up on video. Look at all those oils. Now usually, one thing I don't do enough is show the oils on the knife after cutting the pepper. Smells good. Smells super fruity and super floral. Try and get a good shot there. Look at that. You can see the puddles of capsaicin by my thumb right here. In the back there. There are puddles in here. So the smell is very similar to a 7-pot Primo. Very fruity, very floral. Just very vegetal and chinense like. But this one I've been wanting to try is the Ragnarok F4. Let's give it a try. Look at that. So that one was very interesting. At first bite, I got a really fruity taste. And as I was chewing, I tasted citrus, but not really much else. The second I swallowed, it was all floral. But then, once it reached its peak of floral flavor, the other flavors started coming back in. That was very interesting. Yeah, because that first bite, I got that fruity. While I was chewing, I tasted nothing else except for just a slight citrus. It was very weird how I didn't really taste much at all while I was chewing. Just a little bit of citrus. Just a tiny, tiny bit. Once that floral came in, it overpowered everything. Even the little bit of heat that was starting. As soon as I tasted floral, I didn't feel a burn for a second. At all. And then the flavor started all coming back, and then the heat started ramping in. I'm at a really strong 4 right now. It feels like it's gonna keep getting higher. It's very intense. can almost feel it sizzling. That's the sensation I'm getting on my tongue right now. It's mostly on the tongue. Tiny bit on the roof of my mouth. And it's just spreading out towards my gums, towards my cheeks. But it's not burning them. It's mainly on the tongue and the roof of the mouth. Not too far back either. I'd say right in the center of my tongue. And it's just having this sizzling effect where it feels like almost like a tickling burn. It's very interesting. And just feel it dancing around on my tongue. I said it definitely reached a 5. First bite, it started off right at a 1. I felt it burning right away. Really starting to. But like I said, when I swallowed and that floral hit me, it actually went to a 0. And then as soon as that balanced out, it shot right up. I definitely say it made it to a 5. Very, very intense burn. Now it's getting almost kind of prickly feeling. So literally felt like the reason why I described it as kind of dancing around on my tongue. And this tickling feeling. It felt like this. Like you're going like this to your tongue. Like over and over and over again. But the longer it did that, the more intense it got. It didn't necessarily turn into a stinging. It just felt really hot. And very tickly. And then that went to a slightly stinging burn. Excuse me, pepper burp. So it definitely peaked. It's starting to come down now. But it's still lingering. So it dropped down to a 4. And it's just hanging there. Definitely stayed at that 5 for a good amount of time. At least a couple minutes. Which is really good. Because when you start getting your tolerance up, those peaks, they don't hang as long. Once you peak, the higher your tolerance is, the faster it comes down from the peak. And this one got up there and definitely hung there for a little bit. And it dropped down to a 4, and it was hanging there. I just felt it drop again. I'd say I'm back at a 3. Excuse me, pepper. So the flavors left in my mouth are definitely a very chinenzy, fruity flavor. Slightly floral. Excuse me, pepper. Yeah, so all in all, that one definitely reminded me of a 7-pot Primo. Definitely different burn characteristics. I feel like 7-pot Primos are just like a really strong ramp up and then a really strong ramp down. A very high peak. Whereas this one shot up, reached its peak, and just hung there before dropping, and then hung there. Definitely getting into the afterburn feeling, where the tongue starts feeling almost numb. I still feel it around my mouth a little bit. Just a lingering burning. Just almost kind of a tingly feeling around the rest of the mouth. My lips are even burning for some reason. I don't know if that was from licking my lips afterwards, but even my lips are on fire. It didn't touch the throat at all. In fact, it didn't even make it that far back. It was definitely more towards the center of the tongue. That one I could definitely see being used with just about anything. That one would be good in, any of your basic regular recipe hot sauces to a very interesting combination of flavors. That would make a really good pineapple hot sauce. Like a pineapple Ragnarok sauce. That would be really good. Food, I mean, really, anything. I feel like that one would actually do really good, and you chopped it up real finely and put it in a taco or something like that. Really just get the heat ramped up. That flavor would blend very well with all the spices. Fresh or dried. Still just so much flavor left in my mouth. I still taste every single flavor. It's very chinenzy, fruity, touch of citrus, floral. I'm even almost kind of getting an earthiness now. That's funny. After chewing, swallowing, burning, all of that has passed, and now I'm getting the full flavor of the pepper. So that's really interesting. Usually it fades out, especially with the burn. But it's almost like my brain just put it on a pause to get through the burn phase, because now I'm tasting everything. Tasting the earthiness, the vegetal, the fruity, citrus, floral. Definitely floral. Very strong floral too, but not disgusting. Very, very flavorful, especially with how well-rounded that flavor profile was. For some reason, at the end there, as of just a little bit ago, it reminded me of the flavor of a really tasty chocolate pod. Just funny because it's red. But that definitely shares a flavor profile with some of the chocolate pods I've had. Just everything came in at the end. I'm little to no burn right now. The flavor is starting to go away now. Now that I'm talking about it, my brain's registering all the flavors. Now they're starting to go away. Now I'm left with that fruity floral flavor. Maybe slightly earthy. excuse me, pepper. That one is a very, very interesting pepper. I could see why he wanted to get his hands on it so bad. It's very 7-Pot Primo-like, but almost kind of combined. I can't put my finger on which chocolate pod, but it's definitely like a combination. It's like eating a 7-Pot Primo and a chocolate pod together, but a flavorful chocolate pod, one that still has a lot of fruitiness. Maybe like a chocolate habanero or something, where you get that smoky, earthy flavor. Now this one didn't really have smoky, obviously, but that earthy flavor, fruity and floral. Then taking a 7-Pot Primo, which is fruity, citrusy, and floral, and just mash them together. So now I'm down to really only tasting the floral. That's about all that's left. It's just that, I'd say a little chinen's flavor left in my mouth. Chinen's and floral. Very, very interesting pepper. No burn left. Solid 5. I mean, I feel like that's pretty good, though. Because a 5 for me is still very, very hot. As not to take away, because my scale goes to 10. Just because it's a 5 doesn't mean it's not hot. I mean, it takes multiple to really get me up past that. That's like right around the threshold for like extremely, extremely hot peppers. For one to make me go over 5 around this time would have to be a rogue pepper or like multiple peppers. Or like the double pod that I ate. That one definitely got me higher. Yeah, well, nothing's left of that one. Except for how interesting that pod was. That one was all over the place in a very, very good way. Made my nose a little loose. It's not running, but it's definitely loosened everything up. Alright, well, that's pretty much it for that one. I don't have any flavor left in my mouth. The burn has been gone. Just that after effect, the almost numbing of the mouth. Again, that was from Hellfire Farms. I believe that one comes from, I don't remember exactly, and I don't want to get it wrong, say the wrong name on here. So, I'm just going to leave it at that. That was from Hellfire Farms. I know he sort of sourced the seeds. Jason did. Because that's a very sought after pod. Alright, well, that wraps that up. Alright guys, burn daily.